Edo State government don join body with International Organization for Migration IOM on Friday 28 April 2023 to commission the office and health building of IOM for Benin City, Edo State. This center will then commission to tackle the problems of illegal migration wey dey affect development for Edo State. The Deputy Director General for Operations, Ugochi Daniels, tok say the establishment of this center means say dem don dey close to the people wey dey suffer illegal migration, and na im make dem come build their office for this state so that dem go reduce the illegal migration, and that na why dem join body with the state government to tell the people the danger of illegal migration.
It was therefore a no-brainer for us to establish a center in a community where migration has driven development. A center in Edo State means we are closer to our client base in the South and Southeast, while offering the much-needed medical support for our returnees with medical conditions. It is our hope that the center will lead us into new programming areas to complement the support and vision of the state government. Your Excellency, I have heard of the Migration 2.0 initiative, which speaks to your aspiration for the state's development. Again, I reiterate our commitment to supporting your vision, evidenced by how we have conceptualized our programming and engagement with our stakeholders in Edo State, as articulated in the country strategy we launched yesterday. To my colleagues at IOM, congratulations on this achievement. I know it has been a very difficult period around the clock to get us to this point. Your efforts are appreciated. Thank you. I hope you have a good night's sleep tonight, finally. I appreciate the long hours the teams have put in Lagos and Abuja to serve mobile populations. I congratulate IOM Nigeria, and especially the Benin sub-office and the Migration Health Unit on commissioning a new office and the Migration Health Center. I also thank the staff for their dedication and hard work over the last 2 years for ensuring the renovation and completion of the office. And I thank you've all had a hand to play in the establishment of the center, as well as in the operations of IOM in Edo State. As the Deputy Director General for Operations for the UN Migration Agency, but more importantly, as a Nigerian, there are no words to express my pride, my honor, and my gratitude in having such strong and committed stakeholders for the work of IOM here in Edo State and IOM's work in Nigeria. So in conclusion, it's my sincere hope that we continue with the good work of supporting different member states and the government of Nigeria in ensuring that migration is done and achieved in an orderly, safe, and humane way, and that migration works for all.
Edo State Governor Godwin Obaseki tok said this move go bring the state government and IOM together to fight against illegal migration, and since the IOM come Edo State, dem don get good results against illegal migration, and say he wan thank the IOM for their support, and say if not be say IOM join body well with the state government, therefore never get this kind of results.
As the Deputy Director General remarked in her speech, this exercise is aimed to further help us deepen the collaboration between the state government, the IOM, so that we can tackle the challenges of illegal migration, human trafficking, and therefore strengthen the institutional structures for safe and legal migration from Edo State. Since 2018, when the IOM moved its central base to Benin City for better coordination of its efforts, in order to stem the tide of illegal migration and human trafficking, we have come to better appreciate the immense work of which this organization continues to play, particularly in fortifying migration governance to promote legal migration and support returnees and victims of illegal migration. I want to put it on record that, but for the support, assistance, and cooperation which we have received from the IOM, the Edo State government may not have been able to set up its task force to tackle human trafficking and irregular migration. So, ma'am, we want to appreciate the effort of IOM, not just your support, but also the collaboration that we continue to receive. We know the harrowing experiences we had to go through working with your staff to receive returnees, resettle them, and reintegrate them into our communities. We will continue to appreciate you, and we'll continue to work with you until we are able to finally resolve the issues of human trafficking and irregular migration from our state. Like I said, when we came into office in 2016, we were confronted with the unpalatable statistics of a large number of our young people, or young men and women, who migrated illegally overseas and fell victims to human traffickers. It was indeed a challenging task to attempt to turn the tide. It was a major, major social battle. Edo State at the time was the epicenter of this disturbing trend, which had festered for decades, largely due to governance failure, among other factors. We were, however, resolute in tackling the challenge and found an incredible ally in the IOM. First, we accepted that we had a big problem. We considered that we had challenges on our hands and had to do something about it, and went ahead to commence a holistic program in solving this challenge, working closely with partners within the states, the country, and internationally. Today, with the support provided by the IOM and other partners, the menace of human trafficking has been drastically reduced. I'm sure IOM will attest to the fact that we are no longer the leading states from which migrants cross the Sahara to Europe. Through the Edo State Prohibition of Trafficking in Persons Law, which we set up with the assistance of IOM, we have built institutional mechanisms for checking the trend of human trafficking and also ensuring the reintegration of returnees back into our society. So, we are delighted that the IOM is expanding its operational base in the state by opening up this new office and upgrading its facilities. And we believe that this will enhance their capacity to support their programs and also our programs aimed at further tackling this menace. We also hope that the IOM will continue to be an ally and partner to support victims and reach out to communities while also enhancing our local expertise in the state to check the trend of illegal migration and human trafficking.
After the commissioning of the building, Governor Godwin Obaseki can tell Tori people say plenty of our young people want japa from Nigeria, but say for you to travel you need health certificate, and that now one of the reasons for IOM for the state, so that people wey want travel no need go Lagos again to get health certificate, and say people wey come back from journey wey need medical checkup, IOM go assist them.
There are lots of young and not young Edo people who are currently in the process of migrating, of traveling. I mean, Japa is a syndrome, we all know about, right? But for you to travel regularly, you need some health certification. The embassies will ask you, and they will naturally, I think, prefer to get that certification done by So there's that process, and I understand quite a bit of backlog. I've gotten complaints from people here. They travel to Lagos and they give them long-dated appointments. So they don't have to now go spend money in hotels in Abuja or Lagos to get that assessment done. They can do it here in Benin. So that's for those who are traveling regularly, in a regular manner. When you recall that when people are brought back home, well, I won't say repatriation, but they sent back or they resettled for whatever reasons. And sometimes the IOM assists them in being returnees. And if we recall, our task force will normally go to whatever cities they have been landed into, whether Lagos in some cases, but other than Abuja. Our task force normally goes in to identify those citizens or in those batches and bring them back home and get them resettled. One of the things that needs to happen as they come back is also medical assessment, which we used to carry out, but not in this form. So with this office, that sort of assessment will be done, and if there are challenges, then we kind of the task force and have programs to help deal with those challenges.
Obaseki Consti talk say one major issue na those young people wey dey travel irregularly, and say Edo State Migration 2.0 go dey try to discourage them and also put a stop to trafficking activities, sake of say irregular migration no good at all.
The issue I thought I heard you mention are those traveling irregularly. And under our Migration 2.0, they said as much as possible we want to discourage, because it's very hazardous, and it's very, it's not dignifying. And the human rights of those who travel that way are not protected. So that's one, that's why we work closely with the IOM. We work with the federal authorities and try and discourage young people from just, selling up whatever, or falling prey to agents or traffickers and say, let me pay the $3,000 or whatever they're asking for, and under the guise that they will take you wherever and give you a job in Europe without the proper documentation. We're working with we're trying to discourage that sort of irregular migration, and also the activities of traffickers in communities. We have succeeded largely. There's still some work to be done. We're concerned at this point because given what's going on globally and national with the economy and the economic pressure on families, it is not unlikely that we may begin to see some pressure and maybe some resurgence of this, of traffickers trying to get people out irregularly. So we are working with them to step up, the programming to prevent irregular migration and human trafficking.
For her part, Ugochi Daniel Konto said the office could take care of health of people who want travel for school, work, business and other reasons, as IOM go help them approve health certificates, and say IOM protection now for all, and most important now for the protection of women and girls, and say what they need for protection they go assess them to them.
This office takes care of the health assessments people have to undergo before they migrate. So many embassies have asked us to conduct assessments for people who are going to get visas to go to countries for different reasons, for work, for school, to rejoin family. And as you might have heard me say in my statement, it's very important to make sure that migrants are healthy and that their journey is dignified. And the assessments that they go through here are to make sure that they're healthy, not just physical health, but also mental health. And if they need any support, medication, treatment before they go, we would support that. But more importantly, we will also certify that they are in good health. And that then enables them, as part of processing their visa and their onward travel to the next very important stage of their lives.
From Benin City, A. Carter, Ojesele, TMC TV News.